Hello everyone, I'm a little bit nervous to be here today to discuss my ongoing thesis titled Using Memory Games on the Nearpod platform to teach basic English vocabulary to adults aged 60 to 65. Well, my thesis isn't quite wrapped up, but I'm working on it. I am already seeing some promising results as I can wait to share my progress with you all. You might be wondering why I embarked on this journey. Well, I'm honest, technology is changing the way we learn, and age shouldn't be a barrier to benefiting from it. Older adults, specifically those in the 60 to 65 age group, often miss the fun on the teach driving learning. But I think that's a age that we forget to learn, and obviously that we don't take into account to teach with fun. Well, my main goal here in this thesis, I think it's that is to know if Nearpod platform can help us to teach English vocabulary learning and make it more exciting and effective for this age using virtual games. As I mentioned before, I chose the Nearpod platform as our testing ground. The big question remains if can these memory games could make the learning easier, or what are the perceptions of the adults using this type of platform. It's important to mention that this research takes place in a classroom ubicated in Alchichica, Puebla. This group is compounded by 4 students from 60 to 65 years old, and they don't have learning in knowledge, English knowledge. They were studying like many years ago, and they don't remember nothing. I chose this group because I think that it's curious how adults could use other tools to teach and to learn more English. So I was teaching them English for at last 2 weeks ago, and the method mainly was gamification using the Nearpod platform. I was focusing in point slides and other types of tools as lyrics training or other web pages as live worksheets, but here I chose Nearpod platform because I think it's a very useful platform, and we could make wonderful things with this platform. It is important to mention that this research is focusing basic English vocabulary as the CEFR bases on a A1, so I think that is the level that the adults have. Well, the main objective in this research is to know how adults aged 60 to 65 years old can perceive their learning experience using memory games as a virtual gamification, using obviously the Nearpod platform in order to acquire the basic vocabulary as an A1 based in the CEFR. I think it's important to know the perception of these adults because I think there is a huge difference between how they took their classes in the past in a traditional way and how nowadays they are learning English with another type of tools, in this case technology. Just to be specific, My objectives that are specific, I think it's to explain how virtual gamification is preferred or not by adult age to 60 to 65 years old when using nearpod platform, and also to discover if virtual gamification can help these adults obviously using or mentioning the difference, as I said before, with the traditional way and nowadays with a virtual gamification. They are not used to the technology, but nowadays they are using this type of technology to learn a new language. Well, in my research questions, I wrote that how Nearpod works. I think that is a research question very important because not everyone can use. Not everyone knows how to use this type of platform. So I think that it's important to say or mention how Nearpod platform works in this case as an online group and using virtual gamification and using memory games. Well, to understand better this thesis, we have to describe that the CEFR, well known as the Common European Framework of Reference and Languages, is a comprehensive framework that describes using skills the level that you can situate a student to know what are the level that they are situated. I think it's very important to know what level of English have the student, because you can't teach the same level or the same words or the same difficulty of the language to any student. Vocabulary is quoting the CEFR is one of the primary areas that the CEFR focuses on it. So it's very important to know or to have in a language proficiency. Well, in my thesis paper, I wrote that there are many various pedagogical approaches. Well, we can have like a constructivism, and this type of method is mostly used in kids because the method is predicated on the notion that through the experience or the students can build their own knowledge, quoting Vygotsky. It is important to take into account that the adult learner characteristics are really important using the TICS resources in ELT. Well, the game-based learning, known as GBL, is a strategy, a pedagogical strategy that engages the students and promotes learning by utilizing games. I think that this strategy, this method, it's very important to use in this case, in this research, because the whole thesis is focusing in games. In this case, game-based learning is centered in obviously in the games, but also it can gives you rewards. The students can learn using games, and they are not used to learn like this way. So I think that using the term vanguardism, I think it's very vanguardist to use this type of method to teach, in this case, adults. Well, quoting to the Turning et al. In 2011, the Turning mentioned that gamification is the application of a game mechanics and aspects in context that other games can increase the motivation and engagement of the students. So it is very important to mention that gamification use points or leaderboards or badges or game elements to motivate the users to learn. Both in Cepeda in 2016, we have findings in other research that mention that explores that the adults using gamification and virtual gamification are better communicated with other adults, and well, in this case their other students. And it is important that the results show that gamification increases student engagement and student motivation. I'm still working on the methodology, but my methodology is qualitative. I am using this type of methodology because I think to know the perception of the adults, it's very important to know because they lived two different scenarios. One in classes like traditional classes from many years ago, and nowadays that they are learning English through a cell phone or to a tablet or other type of devices. So I think to explore the perceptions that they have, it is important to make an interview to know how they can perceive their motivation. Well, I apologize for not presenting concrete results today, as my research is still a work in progress. However, I am really pleased to report that the research is progressing very well, and I am confident that we are on the right track. Thank you for understanding, and I look forward to sharing more in the future. I am really nervous and encouraged by the early findings as they appear to align or they are like very similar to the outcomes of prior research studies in this field. As I mentioned before, in so many research that I find that I found the outcomes are very similar to mine. While I continue my work, I remain optimistic about the direction this research is heading. Um, I think that this research is taking a good path. Well, and these are my references. I hope that these presentations will be very treated, and that's all. Thank you for watching.